After seeing the trailer showing DC's most eclectic superbad team throwing out zingy one-liners and doing wild stunts to the tune of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, you'd expect Suicide Squad to be a fun, subversive romp brought to life with neon-lace style. And it certainly is, for the first act of the movie. From there, it loses its zany charm and becomes something familiar, unexciting, and worst of all, predictable. There's some enjoyable elements, namely certain standout performances from the star-studded cast, but that's not quite enough to prop up the uninspired plot. Hard-ass Amanda Waller uses the fear that Superman's power instills to bully the US government into letting her assemble Task Force X, a group of their most dangerous incarcerated criminals who they don't mind sending on suicide missions. After the stylistic intros of Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and the rest, it's hard not to be pumped up and ready to watch them go nuts on the villain. You're even willing to give a fair shot to the Australian pile of useless called Captain Boomerang. But then the squad goes on their first and only mission to stop a vague, world-ending scheme, and the movie takes a nosedive. Action scenes happen, but they're little more than time-filling montages as we watch the team bulldoze through dozens of henchmen that pose zero threat, even to the guy with the boomerangs. The ensemble cast is hit or miss, with Rick Flag, Enchantress, El Diablo, Slipknot, and Captain Boomerang failing to do their characters justice. The plot is already thin and unexciting enough without an overstuffed cast dragging it down. Luckily, there are a few standout performances. Will Smith's Deadshot is smug, tortured, and endearing, although the bit with his daughter is a tad cheesy. Viola Davis's Amanda Waller is the highlight of the movie, dominating everyone she shares a scene with and owning the role as a brazen woman going about her agenda in ruthless fashion. Harley Quinn isn't the scene stealer you'd expect, but Margot Robbie is undeniably twisted and charming in the role. The Joker does have a decent amount of screen time, lots of it with Harley, but he feels forced into the narrative. Jared Leto's performance is creepy, sure, but he never gets a why so serious type sequence where he gets to really shine. He's more there to service Harley's story, which could be a good tactic if it wasn't so confusing as to why she fell in love with him in the first place. Joker isn't even the main villain, and the antagonists that we do get are a perfect example of what we don't want from our comic book movie villains. The movie beats us over the head with the idea that these folks are truly despicable, but it also goes out of its way to show us that they're not so bad, which is normally where a movie like this hooks you, except the writing aims to manipulate your emotions instead of engage them. There's tragedy and dramatic irony to their story, but the movie glosses over it instead of sinking its teeth in. For a movie called Suicide Squad, it feels strange for it to play everything so safe. For more reviews, keep it here on IGN.
Complete the mission, you get time off your prison sentence. Fail the mission, you die. Anything happens to Colonel Flag, I'll kill every single one of you. Remember, I'm watching. I see everything.
There's your pep talk.
So that's it? What, we some kind of suicide squad?
I'll notify your next of kin.